Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, leave a message. Love to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get towards 3,000 subscribers. I always appreciate you. It's getting to the offseason of football. We know that the playoffs are about to pick up, and that comes with its own set of issues. It comes with its own set of deals. It's the second season. It's a season that is unlike any other because we know that for leagues with real legitimate playoffs, you can go from the wild card all the way to the championship. So now it doesn't matter how good you were in the regular season. It only matters what you do now. But for the rest of us, we go into the offseason, and for many people, the offseason is an opportunity to rewind, it's an opportunity to reflect. It's an opportunity to rewind, recharge the batteries, get out and do the other things that are in your life, because your life shouldn't be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, any one thing. Doesn't matter how much you're obsessed with it, how much you love it. In order to be healthy, right? In order to be healthy, you should probably have some other things in your life besides that one thing. And so with that, you're supposed to get away. You're supposed to have the opportunity to recharge those batteries. But then you also have to think about, okay, how can I get better for next year? This not only applies to coaches, this applies to players, this applies to parents, and then this applies to media. See, a lot of the times we will criticize coaches and players for things that we don't actually understand as media members. I know that when I'm covering baseball, or if I'm doing anything for baseball, because that's not the sport that I know the best, even though I know it pretty darn well, it's not the sport that I know the best. I tend to not assume things because I don't really know. I don't really understand some of the strategy behind the decisions that are made. And because I don't understand the strategy behind it, I really can't be critical of it. That doesn't stop many of you in the media. That doesn't stop a lot of other people from being critical of stuff, of things that they don't even really understand. But here's the thing. We all can understand it. There's no knowledge in any sport that is only reserved for a select few. The only knowledge that you're never going to be able to learn or understand truly is what it's like to play in a sport. You'll never understand that if you don't play. That's the only way to really know what it is you're doing, or what that's like, is to be involved in it. If you're not involved in it, then you'll never know what it's like. I'll never know what it's like to stand in the batter's box against a legitimate pitcher while they're throwing their assortment of pitches, which includes a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I'll never know that. The same way that some people will never know what it's like to go across the middle with a safety bearing down on you, but you're trying to locate a ball knowing that you got to jump for it, and you're probably going to get wrecked. Like, no, people may never know that. And I know that there are some that are out there that goes, well, the only way you can be an elite level athlete is if you played at the highest level. You people are stupid. I was watching, or I was listening to, I can't remember. I think I was watching The Fighter and the Kid and Brendan Schaub, who I actually enjoy, even though he gets a lot of stuff wrong. Outside of MMA, he gets a lot of his knowledge wrong, but I enjoy him because he's a genuine. This isn't a game. This isn't some act he's putting on. He's just being him, and I like genuine people. I don't like Brian Callen very much, and I don't really understand why anyone does, to be honest with you. But he's not my cup of tea, so I can't knock anybody else. But he was saying that when he hears people talk about, being elite athletes, and they say they've gone to a Division II, that he's like, pump your brakes, because he played Division I football. He believes that Division I is the only elite athletes. And if he would have said elite players, I could have gotten down with him because, for the most part, if you're an elite player, you're probably at the Division I level. But elite athletes are everywhere. I was an elite athlete. I did not play Division I football or basketball or track, but I did all three. And I was pretty dang good at all three in college. So this idea that you have to be a Division I in order to be elite, I don't agree with. The same way that I don't believe in order to be extremely knowledgeable about a sport, you had to play it. But there are some things you're just never going to understand because you were not in those trenches. And that's okay. Stay away from those things. We as people, as members of the media, have to come to terms with the fact that there are some things that we're just not going to be privy to because we didn't walk that path. And that if we try to act as if we know, that's going to be disingenuous to players. But if we go about learning the game at the highest level to the best of our abilities, and we present that knowledge, you will be respected for your knowledge. Watch how coaches and players respond when you ask them questions that are not just your basic, normal, rudimentary questions. Like when you ask a how do you feel about question, when you ask somebody a how do you feel about question, what are you really looking to get the answer to? Man, how do you feel about winning this game? How does it feel to be there for your teammates? Those are such rudimentary questions that they don't really get a response that you're looking for. They just get a response. So if you're getting better at your craft as a journalist, don't you want to ask questions that lead somewhere, or at least that opens up an opportunity for you to ask a follow-up question? That's what we're supposed to be doing. At least that's what I was taught. And so in the offseason, how do we get better at these things? When we don't have to cover a sport directly, what are we doing to get better? Coaches, they go to clinics. They go to workshops. They learn the game from their peers, people that they respect in the game, people that are doing it at the highest level, people that are doing it at a high level, regardless of the level. Some of the best knowledge that I've received have not come from NFL coaches. Actually, almost none of the X and O knowledge that I've received has come from NFL coaches. Most of it comes from Division III coaches, D3, D2 coaches that aren't afraid to innovate, because why not? You can do it in relative anonymity. You get the opportunity to innovate. You get the opportunity to to try things out when there's not a lot of headlines or lights being shined on you. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, you put it away. NAIA coaches, same thing. Such great information, such students of the game. I've learned a lot. As a player, when I was trying to learn new tricks and techniques, you go to the person that does it the best. But you studied the game. I wonder how many media people go to try to actually learn the game. How many media people go to workshops? And before you tell me you don't have time, that's cool. I get it. You don't have time. I'm pretty sure you could turn that into a story in some kind of way. So, how many media people are going out to a coach's clinic, going out to a combine and actually watching the drills, not with I'm just trying to get footage, but actually trying to learn the techniques and what they were doing. So when you make a comment about something that happened in a game, you have legitimate knowledge. You have legitimate knowledge, not just, oh, this is what I think happened. You go, nope, this is what's happening, and this is how I can prove it. Because that's a thing, you know. What Tony Romo does, that's nothing like, that's nothing new. We sit at home all the time and predict plays. Coaches do. We're sitting with each other predicting plays. How? Because we understand the game. We understand time and situation. And because we understand the game, because we understand time and situation, there are opportunities for us to see the game before the novice person sees the game. And that's valuable. But that only comes with learning the game. That only comes with accepting the fact that we don't know everything, and so we seek out more knowledge. The moment that we feel like we know everything is the moment you start failing. The moment you feel like you've got it all figured out is the moment you start failing. My X and O's to Joe's breakdowns, my reels that I do or my TikTok videos that I do where I break down plays that I've seen. I do that type of stuff because I'm learning, and as I learn more, I share with everybody else. This knowledge is just not here for me. This knowledge is for everybody. And it's to everybody's benefit to know it, whether you're a coach, player, fan, or a media member. You want to be respected in your field? You want to be respected? Hey, it's really simple. Do more work. And don't just work more, do more work to understand the game. You know what's the most depressing thing to me right now? We have a lot of these shows on television. And I love them. It's great. You have the host, who is usually some trained broadcaster, some trained talking head, the point guard. And then you have the panel, which is now diverse. It's now more diverse. But unfortunately, two of the three on the panel don't really understand the sport, at least not at the level that they should. And the third person's an athlete, and they don't understand journalism. And watch this. Neither the athlete that's on there or the two people who are journalists are doing anything to really, really understand the other person's world. The athlete is just out there going, well, I know the game. That's all that matters. Yes, you know the game, but when we listen to you talk, it doesn't sound like it. Because your communication's not good, because you're still looking at this thing as if you're just an athlete. You can be more than an athlete. Understand how to deliver better. Understand how to deliver better. It's a craft. You have to learn it. The journalists are sitting up there and they're just giving opinion that are based off of statistics that you can get off Google, that most of them didn't even get for themselves. They just got from whomever the person was that gave them the stats. But they don't really actually know the game. So then you just end up with tension, and maybe that's what these television stations want. Maybe they want the tension. Maybe they want smoke. But what I want as a consumer, and what I know a lot of other people want as sports media consumers, is they want legitimate knowledge. They like opinions when opinions are followed by knowledge. So if there's no knowledge that's coming with the opinion, sorry, that doesn't work. So I challenge everybody this offseason. Even if you've got basketball going on like some of us do, I challenge all of you this offseason. How are you going to get better at your craft? What's the one thing that you're going to improve? Start with that one thing. Improve that one thing. And watch how that improves everything about what you do. I guarantee you'll see the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing every single day. Not every single day, but Monday through Friday. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Until next time, peace.